we will learn the type of grids. That are two types: rectangular grids and circular grids as defined in ETABS. In the part 5 of lecture A, we will start an exercise on how to draw the rectangular grids or define rectangular grids in ETABS, while in the lecture B we will focus on the definition of circular grids and the different variables used when defining the cylindrical grids or circular grids in ETABS. So let's start with the example of rectangular grids definition in ETABS. The scenario is shown. The drawing we are having here is having millimeter standard units. So as we were focusing on FIT or FPS system, so let's have an exercise in this video on millimeter standards. We are shown with alphabetical grids along x-axis and numerical grids along y-axis. Let's start the example on ETABS. Click on New Model. And change the units to metric SI system and click on OK. Since you will be defining the grid in later part, so click on blank here and OK. Okay, so now I'll be going to edit. Edit stories and grid systems. Add new grid system and name it as RECTA, rectangular grid system. And it's rectangular, so we have to select the Cartesian. X grid label is A, and the grid left to right means starting from left and proceeding onwards to the right. And similarly for Y labeling, first grid label is 1 and from bottom to top we are proceeding. Global X direction, global Y direction and Z direction, the origin of the grid. We can take the origin, that is this point intersection of grid A1. We can take it as 0, 0 or as defined in your AutoCAD drawing. Number of grids in X direction we are given here, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 grids in X direction. Similarly, number of grids in Y direction is 4. That is 1, 2, 3 and 4. We can take a uniform spacing right now, which we can edit later. Okay. Click on refresh view and we are seeing the grids which we defined already. Okay, now edit stories and grid systems, or you can also click the option from here. Set grid system visibility will hide the grid. Click on apply. In order to make them visible again, click on apply. Okay. Now edit the grid. Modify show grid system, the rectangular one which we just defined. Now we are having the coordinates automatically set by ETABS. If we set the grid data as a spacing, then it would be easier to copy the data from here. But if you have the ordinates of each of the grid, then you can just simply enter the ordinates of grid A, B, C and as given in the drawing. First of all, if you see, the unit here is meter and the drawing is in millimeters. So we need to make the units to millimeter standards. Click on consistent units and select millimeter. Okay. Now again go back to edit stories and grid systems. Define the rectangular grid system as modified. Now the distance between grid A and B if we select the spacing option, would be easier to be defined. The distance between grid A and B is 3200. Similarly, distance between grid B and C is 600. C and D is 3400. D and E is 2000 millimeters or 2 meter. E and F is 1800 or 1.8 meter. And F and G is 3000 or 3 meters. Now check the data of grid Y. The distance between grid 1 and 2 is 1500. Distance between grid 2 and 3 is 5200. Similarly, distance between grid 3 and 4 is 4300. Click on refresh view and now you will see the grids defined exactly as the given scenario.